Exercise 5.2, percent story problems. There are 430 students going on a field trip. 40% of those students are male. How many of the students are male? For these types of problems, you need to pick out the key phrase in the problem that is going to allow you to write an equation or an expression to solve the problem. In this case, our key phrase is right here. 40% of those students. Those students is referring to the 430. So this comes down to the problem being 40%, or what is 40% of 430. We're doing a calculation with a percent, so change the percent to a decimal. Of means multiply. 0.4 times 430 is 172, so that means there are 172 male students. You want to buy a TV that costs $550. You have enough money saved to pay for 60% of the cost. How much money do you have saved? Key phrase here, 60% of the cost. What is the cost? The cost was given to us as $550. So we have 60% of 550. Change the percent to a decimal. Of means multiply. Plug that into your calculator. 0.6 times 550 means that we have $330 saved. I'm going to show you two different ways to solve these types of problems. It does not matter which method you use. Whatever you are most comfortable with, use that method. Some students prefer this over here on the right. Is over of equals percent over 100. It's not how I'm going to do most of them. If you've learned that in the past, that is what you're comfortable with, stay with that method. I will use that method here for this one. Is over of. Is 3 of 12. So our first fraction is over of is 3 over 12 equals percent over 100. Solve this equation now for the percent. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 100. Leaves us with the percent, which is what we're looking for. So in our calculator, 100 times 3/12, the percent is equal to 25%. Second type of way, or second way to do these types of problems is to remember that of means multiply, is means equals. And this is the way that I'm going to do these. I think for me it's easier to write an equation and solve than to remember the is over of equals percent over 100 and where each thing goes. So in this case, when we read this, we're just going to translate it into an equation in the same order that we read it. 30 is means equals. So that means I have 30 equals. What percent? That's what we don't know, so we're going to put in a variable. I'm going to use P for percent. Of means multiply, 15. So 30 is what percent of 15? 30 equals P times 15, or 15 times P. Remember multiplication, it does not matter the order. Solve this equation for P. Divide both sides by 15. We get 2. Remember, we are finding a percent. That gives us the decimal. We need to change 2 into a percent. We do that by moving the decimal point 2 spots to the right and adding a percent sign. "14 students were selected as class representatives. These students represent 4% of the class. How many students are in the class?" Key sentence right here, which is going to allow us to get our equation. These students represent 4% of the class. These students, what does these students refer to? It refers to the 14 that were selected. So 14, these students represent the verb that other verb that we could put in there is these students are 4% of the class. Are is a form of is, so that's where our equal sign is going to be. 4% of the class means that we're taking 4% times the entire class size. 4%, remember we changed to 0.04 because we must change to a decimal. Solve this for the class size, divide by 0.04. Plug that into your calculator, 14 divided by 0.04. The class size is 350 students. Camcorder is on sale for 19% off. The original cost was $499. What is the sale price? So the sale price we know is going to be the original cost minus whatever dollar amount represents 19% off. I'm going to do this problem two ways. I'm going to first do it finding the amount that that discount is. The camcorder is on sale for 19% off. So 19% of that price is what we are saving. 19% of $499.99. Use our rules. 19%, we need to change to a decimal. Of means multiply. Put that into your calculator. That means the amount of our discount. It's $95. So the price, or the sale price, is going to be the original price, $499.99, minus the discount amount, which we just found was $95, which means this camcorder is on sale for $404.99. That's one way this problem could be done. Two steps in that problem. I'm going to show you a way here where if you can get used to thinking about what percents mean, a much quicker way of finding this. Camcorder's on sale for 19% off. If it wasn't on sale, we know that we have to pay 100% of that $499.99. We don't need to pay 100% though because it's on sale for 19% off. Well, if I take 100% and I subtract 19%, that means I only have to pay 81% of that original price, which becomes 0.81 times $499.99. Plug that into your calculator, and we get a sale price of $404.99. So again, a little bit quicker than the first method. Both methods get you to the answer, but if you can start thinking of percents in terms of what percent do I still need to pay? If it's on sale for 25% off, now I only need to pay 75% of that original amount and so on, you're going to get to the answers a little bit quicker. Percent change. Anytime you are finding percent change or percent decrease or percent increase, you're going to use the same formula every single time. You're going to take the old price or old amount minus the new amount, divide by the old amount, and then multiply that by 100 to get the percent change. And that can be for a percent increase or percent decrease. You can ignore the sign that goes along with it. Use that formula. So in this case, the price of a new cell phone went from $249.99 to $174.99. What was the percent change? Old price in this case, $249.99, minus the new price, $174.99, divided by the old price, which was $249.99. Plug this into your calculator. When you plug it in, you should be able to plug all this in one step. If not, use separate steps, but if you use parentheses properly, make sure you do the subtraction. So we're working inside the parentheses first. Subtract those, get the answer, divide by $249.99, multiply by 100, and you're going to get a 30%. The price was going down, so this represents a 30% decrease. Let's look at how we could plug that into the calculator. So in the calculator, I'm going to open two sets of parentheses, one for the big one for the numerator, 249.99 minus 174.99, close the numerator, divided by the denominator, which is 249.99, close the entire big set of parentheses, multiplying that whole thing then times 100 to change to a percent, hit equals, and we see we get 30.001. If we round, that rounds to 30%. Last one. Price for an oil change went from $23.99 to $27.99. What was the percent change? Same formula. Doesn't matter that in this case it's increasing. Old price minus the new price divided by the old price. And then we need to change that to a percent. We do that by multiplying by 100, which is doing the same thing as simply moving the decimal point 2 spots to the right. Plug all that into your calculator. We get about a 16.7% increase in price for the oil change. Once again on the calculator, two sets of parentheses, one for the big, one for just the numerator, 23.99 minus 27.99. Close the numerator, divided by the old price of 23.99. Close the big set of parentheses, multiply that by 100 to change to a percent. Hit equals. Again, you can ignore the sign. 16.7% if we round that to one decimal position.